Flor.
Yeah, nueva canción.
Pero estamos haciéndolo folclore electrosónico.
Okay, that was Otro Poder from Lupita Ye. She just sent me these tracks, I don't know, like yesterday or this morning or sometime recently. Very good. I've been listening to them online, and I said, hey, you got to come down, especially since it's Women's History Month. We got to represent La Mujer. And so Lupita Ye, she is our special guest for this segment. Welcome to Travel Tips for Aztlan, Lupita Ye.
Thank you so much, Mark. It's a pleasure to be here, and I do thank you for your hard work in behalf of the artist community of LA.
Okay, yeah, we gotta create space for our artists because you help show us the way. Like we need your guidance for us to think clearly about the things we need to find that are important.
No.
Otherwise, we think what's important is jumping on a bus, jumping on a train, going to work, coming home from work, and doing all these mundane things. But to have vision, it takes an artist to help us see the way.
Well, you know, we are all ecosystem, and you're part of it. So for musicians, it's very important to have a program like this at KPFK, who supports independent artists in such a wonderful way. Thank you so much.
Okay, explain to our audience what La Filosa is.
Well, La Refalosa, the name La Refalosa, it's a rhythm, pretty much. It's a type of dance from Chile. It's kind of a mestizo from the fields. That's the type of music that the people that work on the fields, you know, they do, and they play and dance. And this is from Chile. But La Refalosa for us is pretty much like a collective of musicians who help us out to produce this CD, which is El Otro Poder. And El Otro Poder is all of us, you know, the 99%.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that. You know, this is a really good moment to help the audience understand a little bit about the importance of the 99%, because we're in an election year and we have an opportunity to put people in office that represent us. Most of the cases, people who are in office right now represent the 1%.
Exactly.
They represent the big multinational corporations that own, for example, you know, all of these acres, millions of acres of food lands.
Mm-hmm.
But what is really more important, the masses that pick the fruit, that allow the food to come to our table, or the multinational corporation that owns the land? And at the very least, they're equally important. At the very least.
Exactly.
And it's not portrayed that way. And when people like Donald Trump, who represents those 1%, he's trying to say like the corporations are more important. That is not true. We have to really, but there's so many regular day worker type people who work 40-hour work weeks who are supporting this guy. They don't understand the politics of this. You know, how do we make this simpler for the average person to realize what is in their best interest?
Absolutely. We need to create a space to appreciate us and to appreciate other people's work, and the music has to be a way of being close to the working class people. You know, I think artists, they should be close to the working class people, and at the same time represent, you know, the needs of everybody. You know, just it can be women, working class, farmers. So we are all together. We need to understand that we need each other, and we don't need politicians. Like, I don't even consider Donald Trump as a politician.
Right, he's an entertainer for sure, and maybe not. He's a very successful one, but not a very good one for me. It's nothing I would want to watch ever.
Oh no, absolutely, and we don't want that. We don't want him to rule a country like United States or any other. You know, I think it's it makes me think a lot about this historical moment. What are we doing with that person? Just projecting hate and dividing the country. I just
Well, that's it right there. Uh, People like Donald Trump realize that if we all get together, the 99% of us, we would put these guys in mental hospitals where they belong, screaming how much they should take over the world. But if you divide us, we are weaker. So they divide the Spanish speakers from the English speakers, the poor from the rich, the people who have jobs with people who don't have jobs, women from men. They find all these different ways to separate us and divide us so they can conquer us. And we need to realize the simple truth that we all have more in common with each other than differences, and we need to get together, and we can do great things.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think music, art, culture, it's a way, it's a space for us to see each other and to appreciate each other and to learn from each other and to enjoy and create a space for happiness and joy and solidarity too. So I think it is very important everybody's work, in behalf of humanity.
My guest is Lupita Ye. She is a wonderful artist, a poet, a performer, and I have this wonderful book here, Revista Cultural Hispanoamérica. It's really beautiful. There's poetry in here. There's links to important websites, great stories. A story on Los Braceros by David Campos here, tracing the history of labor here from that works here in the United States that comes from Mexico and beyond. People don't realize how important the work is that the braceros have done for hundreds of years here in the United States. I mean, we literally would not have enough people to pick the food that feeds the world if it wasn't for the braceros. Yet they get disrespected.
Oh, absolutely.
Low wages, no benefits, poor education for their children. If it wasn't for the work of the United Farm Workers, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta and the whole support structure, that helped change the culture, but there's so much further to go.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
and we've taken some steps backwards recently too.
Yes. I don't know if you're familiar with Rosa Marta Zárate. She's a spokesperson for the old braceros. I mean, I'm talking about people who are like 70, 80 years old, who were, some of the first braceros here in this country. It is really a tragedy how they have been treated, not only here, but in Mexico too. So they are still struggling to get, money from their savings, and it continues. I mean, when they came here a long time ago, they used to be. It looked more like a concentration camp where they were exploded, and they used to be, sprayed with pesticides and stuff like that. So we need to really address those subjects. And every time I can, when they ask me to sing for any type of mobilization, I'm there, because the artist needs, at least for me, we need to be close to them, and
Okay.
we need to support them.
Okay, well, we have another song here, Abya Ayala.
Abya Yala, that's the...
Tell us about that song.
Abya Yala, that's the old name of the continent, America, and this is a name that they used to have before I believe it was from this nation in Costa Rica, the original people from Costa Rica. They call it Abya Yala, all the way from Alaska to La Patagonia. So we are trying, through this collective, Barriostars, to connect and to make the energy flow from the south to the north, and instead dividing us and creating walls. Let's cross them with music, and let's cross them with culture. So it is very important for us. And that's why we work with this collective, because we realize that, as you say, we have a lot of things in common, same as struggles.
You are inspiring me. I hope you're inspiring the audience as well. Lupita Ye, here is Ayala. Ayala. That is the name of our continent from thousands of years ago. This is from the north to the south, all the way down, 2 continents joined as one. Abya Ayala. Digging it.
Ayala, I just woke up.
I'm waking up now. It's just really amazing. Lupita Ye, thank you so much for coming down. That was wonderful.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you to your audience for, listening.
You have it. Okay, we hope to see everybody out there, Travel Tips listeners, down at Los Globos, March 31st. Do we know what day of the week that is?
That's gonna be a Thursday.
Thursday. There it is. Thursday's the new Friday.
Yeah.
So come on down and support. Lupita Ye right here on Travel Tips for Aztlan, KPFK Los Angeles. I hope you're having a good time, everybody. We're going to be back with some more super guests, so don't go anywhere.